Check, 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 check. Look at that. And with that, we are live. Woohoo! Behind the scenes stuff. Man. All the mess and glitz and glam and glory that everything that happens and goes on, I tell you what. Oh, goodness gracious. So many wonderful things happening today. Oh. By wonderful things, I mean nothing wonderful, because nothing has really been happening that anyone can consider wonderful. But that's all right. We could talk about that. It'd be all right. Let's see here. Unable to connect, unable to connect. Huh. Oh, that's probably why. All right. I wonder if they did the same. Copy. Edit. Paste. Save. Let's see. Stop. Restarting the stream. Restarting the stream. It's so extreme because we're restarting the stream. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Boom, boom, boom. There we are. Everything is up and going just like it should. Oh, yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. I see. Save changes, save changes. 9 o'clock. Everybody should be up and going. Gotta love it. Boom. Check it on there. Check it on there. Here we are, rolling through behind the scenes. Hello, everybody. I'm sure everybody's up and running anyway. Maybe I'm not. I don't think I am, really. Oh, goodness. Look at all this stuff going on. Go. Whew. And with that, everything is actually running. Yay! Everything's running. I'll tell you what. It's 6. What do you mean it's 6? 6 o'clock for you? I don't know what time it is for you. I'm not worried about that West Coast stuff. Oh, let's see here where everybody's at. A couple minutes before we get started here. Obviously, love you guys. Thanks for being here. Liz will be joining us about halfway through the show. She's been running nonstop. So she's taking care of some volunteers and things like that, making sure that they're taken care of before she gets on with us. And once that happens, it'll be hilarity nonstop. Plus, I need to talk to her about a few things. But that's okay. I can talk to you guys for a few minutes before she gets here. By that, I mean about 30. And hopefully she has a lot to talk about, because I have a few questions to ask her. It'll be great. Oh, goodness. Been a long day. Wonder if it has been for you guys. Anybody? No? Nobody? About 1 minute, we'll start the full show. We'll have everything rolling through, musical start and all that jazz. You guys know the drill. Before we do, obviously, you can go to our website, doaeshow.com. And when you do, subscribe. Because it helps us, obviously. Don't be silly. You know that. All right, let me see here. We got about 30 seconds left. Woo, 30 seconds. Be good times. Anyway, I'm going to go radio silent. I'll catch you guys on the other side of the music. Hello, everybody. You're listening to the Defenders of American Exceptionalism. You can hear us live right here on the Facebook page. You can go to /DOAE show. If you do that, you'll find us there. You can also go to Mojo 50 Radio on the Facebook page that they have over there, and you can find us live on the video feed as well. You can also go to their website, Mojo 50, and you can go and listen to everything there. You can also go to our website, DOAEshow.com, and when you do go there, you can become a Defender with us, or for free, you can be a shield bearer. But if you do want to sign up, become a Defender with us, that's $5 a month, $50 a year. And when you do sign up for the annually, you will get a free t-shirt. That is the hashtag I see what you did there t-shirt. Oh, and by the way, while I'm thinking about it, follow us on the Twitters, where you can use that hashtag I see what you did there, because I did. Longer tonight, we're going to have, later on, Liz Matory with us. She will be joining us to talk a little bit about what's going on in Maryland, District 2, how everything's going there, and I have a couple questions to ask her about some of the things that she's posted a couple times online here. So hopefully we'll get all to that, but I guess since she's going to come in a little later, I was hoping to kind of plug her in first and get her full conversations, but all right. Kavanaugh. Everything with the Kavanaugh deal. I wonder. Do you wonder? Because I do. There's so many holes now in everybody's testimony. So many holes in all accusers' testimonies. I can no longer sit back and say that any of them have any credibility, have any viability, and they are all at the point that I just can't. I can't believe them anymore. Apparently, if we are to believe any unsubstantiated claims that everybody brings up, if somebody is to accuse a person without proof, then somebody else who comes behind them and gives a sworn testimony and goes anonymously without proof, we should also believe. And by that I mean Mrs. Ford's ex-boyfriend for 9 years prior to her current relationship. That's right, Dad. So many holes, so too few Kavanaughs. Oh, that's bad. Anyway, here's the latest in her stories. Apparently, if you've read the new documents that have been released today, the ex-boyfriend not only said that she had no problems flying in a prop plane, which is one of the more dangerous forms of aviation transportation. She also had no problem with tight spaces, confined spaces, single places of exit, or she didn't have a problem with, what else? Oh, she did have a problem with, she gave help to somebody for a lie detector test. Something that she said in the hearings she had never talked about, never given anybody help, never helped anybody at all, had conversations about. None of that. No, she did not ever have a conversation about lie detector tests to anybody, except she did. Apparently, she did. With her roommate and once upon a time best friend, she did. Went through that entire process while that roommate / best friend had been going through the process of getting hired by the federal government. She walked her through the entire process of a lie detector test and helped her keep herself calm through it so that she could pass. More holes in her argument. You know that whole ordeal about how the reason why she came out to her husband about the rape allegations, specifically in the therapy sessions, was Oh, yeah. Well, it was about an argument that we had. And the argument that we had was was about a renovation to our house, which we did, where we added a second door because I wanted a second entrance because of this situation. Go into rape allegations. Except for that's false, because her entire therapy session didn't start until 2012, and the renovation happened in 2008, at which time it was for a separate room that they then rented out. So the allegation there, where she supposedly told this whole process because of a certain thing, nope, didn't happen because of an argument over a door, and she never had an issue. So once again, Mrs. Ford, I'm sorry, but I don't believe you. I will not believe you. And please, come out and apologize for the claims that you've made against a man who, up until this past 3 weeks, has had zero problems with the law. A person that you claim was a sexual harasser, and many have claimed was a rapist, who had his entire name and career smeared just because of a political motive from the people that decided that they were going to hold your testimony until the very last minute so that they could make this charade. I believe he deserves an apology. And for all the Democrats out there, I believe we all deserve an apology from you. You and the likes of you and the circus that you created just to delay for a few more days a hearing for a judge because you don't like the president. If it was any other president than Donald Trump, Kavanaugh would have been pushed through with about a 65 to 45 to 65 to 35 vote. No questions asked. He would have been in. Nobody would have cared. Because up until this point, with 6 separate FBI background checks, the man has been a squeaky clean nothing. And he's slightly left of center. He's not really a conservative. So I don't get it. And I don't understand what you're doing, except for the fact that you want to hold off the Supreme Court for as long as possible because you believe that doing so will give you the best chances in the coming midterm election. And I'm sorry, but what you've done has basically backfired. Here's what I mean. I'm a libertarian. I'm registered as a Republican because that's the only way that I can currently affect change in my local area. But as a libertarian, I never have voted party line. I've always gone through and I've always looked at each individual person and I've tried my best to vote in the person that I believe should be in place based on their politics, based on their understanding. Since I have been voting, that's what I've been trying to do. As such, I believe that this entire situation has brought me to a slight change of heart. At least for this midterm. For this midterm, I'm pretty certain that I'm just going to vote straight party ticket. To me, that sounds really crass. I know other people are like, well, that's what we do all the time. We just vote straight party ticket. We don't even look who's there. I do. And you know what? There are probably people on that straight party ticket that I don't like. But at least they're not dragging people through the mud, claiming that they're rapists, and defiling their name and livelihood for the rest of their lives. And do you want a person? Okay, You know what else is gonna possibly happen to you? If Kavanaugh does get voted in on Friday, which is probably likely considering there's nothing else that the FBI have found other than more holes in your argument. If Kavanaugh gets put into the court, he is going to probably be like a Scalia now. You are probably going to have another Clarence Thomas. Why? Because Anita Hill. Why do you think Clarence Thomas votes straight constitutionalist every time? It's not just because he is a straight constitutionalist. It is because he will never budge because of what you've done to him. You forced him into a position to where he has to stand on the strongest principles possible. And my only hope is when Brett Kavanaugh does get in, he does the exact same. Short intro. We'll be right back.
Life insurance is one of those things that just about everybody needs, but few people actually have. Hey, if you die unexpectedly without life insurance, guess what? You'll leave your family with even a bigger mess. Life insurance will help replace your family's income. It'll help cover burial expenses. Life insurance can even help pay off debt like credit cards and medical bills. Life insurance can even pay for college. And if you own a business and you die, life insurance can help your business from collapsing. It can even help cover estate taxes. Life insurance has never been more affordable and needed. Plus, you can always shop around even if you have a plan and save some money. So call the Life Insurance Quote Line right now for free pricing information.
800-915-9542. 800-915-9542. 800-915-9542. That's 800-915-9542.
Hey, this is Dylan and Steven from Defenders of American Exceptionalism, here to give you the facts about hydration.
Thirst pains are real. Chronic joint pains, headaches, and ulcers can often spell dehydration. Water's needed to carry acidic waste away from the cells, and when we're dehydrated, these wastes don't get carried away, leading our nerves to interpret it as pain.
If you're tired, it may be dehydration. One study found that a mere drop in water levels in the body can cause a 25 to 30% loss in energy. Even a 3% drop can cause fuzzy thinking, brain fog, and a slower metabolism.
How do you remedy this? Some people may ask.
Earthwater. Go to earthwater.com/DOAE show to get yours now.
These bottles are packed with 70 plus trace minerals, 9.5 pH balance, no carbs, sugars, artificial sweeteners, preservatives, chemicals, or calories.
It's organic, gluten-free, and vegan as well because it's, well, you know, water.
And with its high active carbon and molecular oxygen levels and antioxidants, it will hydrate you the way to a better life.
That's earthwater.com/DOAE show to get your bottles today.
earthwater.com/DOAE show.
According to a 2017 Gallup poll, 85% of Americans hate their jobs. 85%. And most of those people will continue to hate their jobs over something as simple as updating and formatting their resume. Let Nicole's Resume Renewal Service help you gain a leg up in an already competitive job market. Please go to www.facebook.com/Nicole's Resume Renewal Service and relieve yourself of the worry of an outdated resume. Use the promo code DEFENDERS and receive $10 off your order of a resume cover letter package. That's www.facebook.com/Nicole's Resume Renewal Service. Don't be part of that 85%. Log on today at www.facebook.com/Nicole's Resume Renewal Service and use the promo code DEFENDERS for $10 off.
And we're back. You're listening to Defenders of American Exceptionalism. And by the way, just a little update. Dylan obviously is still out with the family and a family situation, all of that jazz, but he will be back as soon as he possibly can. That way you guys can get more laughs out of this, because I know I'm serious. It's okay. I've got a good story for you later that'll make you laugh. But first, this is kind of breaking news. I don't know if everybody is caught up with it or not, but let me pull it up here. I got a breaking news, so much breaking that I actually have to pull it up myself. Oh, here you go. This is from the Washington Times, just so you know. So you know I'm not actually pulling it from like Fox News or whatnot. But the U.S. Capitol Police said Wednesday they've arrested a man that they believe is responsible for stealing and releasing personal information of senators online, apparently as part of opposition to Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh. Police have charged Jackson A. Costco, 27 years old, with threats, witness tampering, unauthorized access to government computers, identity theft, burglary, unlawful entry, and publicizing restricted personal information. The charges include both federal and local offenses. Jackson Costco has a LinkedIn profile saying that he is a Democratic operative who worked in the Senate until earlier this year. Online records show he was a legislative correspondent for Senator Maggie Hassan. Apparently, he's also worked on the staff of Representative Sheila Jackson Lee, Democrat out of Texas. Jackson Lee has been an outspoken opponent of Judge Kavanaugh and sat on on last week's hearings. She caused a stir last week when she handed a note to the lawyer of Christine Blasey Ford, the woman who was upended Judge Kavanaugh's confirmation process and with allegations from 1982. Sorry, not 1960. 1982. Hey, TJ. All right. So what did this person do exactly? Well, apparently he got online, got all the addresses and information for several senators, including Mitch McConnell, Lindsey Graham, Orrin Hatch, and Mike Lee. He took that information and he posted it on Wikipedia. All of their personal information for their home address, cell phones, everything. That's what doxing is. It's where you take all the personal information of somebody and release it online so that people can then go and become activists against said person. So, yay! Democrat operative was arrested. They were arrested for stealing information and then posting it online so that people could go and harass our representatives at their home and with their private cell phones instead of, doing the right thing, which was, call up their office and leave a message. Why have we gotten this far? Honestly, I don't get it. Why have we gotten this far? What is so partisan about wanting to put a constitutionalist, which Kavanaugh isn't even a constitutionalist. He's a legalist, but he's not a constitutionalist. What is so controversial about putting a milquetoast legalist on the Supreme Court? A man who has held a seat on pretty much every court for I don't know how long. I don't know how long. Oh, wait, yes, I do. Some 20 plus years. That's right. 20 plus years. Without an incident, without a problem, without any of his judgments coming into question. So much so, here's something really funny. They know now that the FBI investigation is not going to pull up anything. If you want to know how they know, all you have to do is listen to what they're saying again, which is they're going right back to their original points of, well, we don't like him because of some of his judgments in previous cases, which they already lost. They already lost that battle. That was part of the hearing. That was part of the original hearing before the Blasey Ford crap, before all the allegations, before everything else. They've now gone back and said, you know what? He may not be a rapist or a sexual assaultist, but we didn't like his opinions on this case. This one case that we found that was really obscure, that he actually went with the law, but the reason why he went with the law, we don't like that. And we think he might do something else. You already lost that bet. So here's the deal, like I said. When it comes to midterm election time, this is what I'm thinking about. I'm going to think about this case. I don't really care about anything else at this particular moment because nothing else makes a difference, really. One of two things is going to happen. Kavanaugh gets put in. And when he does, the Republicans have pushed the vote. And that'll be the first time the Republicans have actually stood up with a spine and done anything in the past 25 years. And it'll cause two things. It'll cause a slight blue wave. But because of all the crap that has happened over the past 3 weeks, it will also cause a very large red typhoon. I don't think you understand, Democrats, liberals, leftists, the ones in power, not the ones voting. I don't think you understand that you've shot yourself in the foot as long as Republicans stand up and do what they should do, which is grow a pair and vote him in. I didn't want Kavanaugh on the bench. But I also didn't want his name smeared through the mud and tarnished for absolutely nothing. So you know what? Vote him in. Vote him in tomorrow if you have to. Vote him in Friday if you have to wait that long so you can get everybody in place. But if Republicans, you don't vote him in, and if you do not have a backup plan, you will lose in the coming election. Not only will you lose in the coming election, but you will lose big. In the words of the president, you will lose bigly. Bigly. It'll be bad for you, just like everything else. For our republic's sake, I really don't want that to happen. Not because I believe Republicans are actually here to save the republic. I think they're here to make money and be pawns in a game, just like everybody else that are in politics, which is why I'm never going to go into it now. But because they're at least slightly better, and they have slightly smaller government understandings, and at least if we get something like this, then we'll get to a point to where we'll be able to, I don't know, maybe vote in a real constitutionalist. You know, this is the one time where I've actually looked at what Donald Trump has said over the past couple weeks, and I've actually liked it. Donald Trump talking about everything that's been going on in these situations. Donald Trump talking about the Blasey Ford incident. I actually like it. I want him to stand up, and I want the Republicans to stand up. Anyway, we'll be right back.
Attention business owners and independent contractors. This is a money-saving message from Tax Mediation Services. If your business owes $20,000 or more in taxes, we can help you today, right now. Listen, dealing with the IRS is no picnic. It's an intimidating and extremely stressful process, and you don't want to go it alone. Our attorneys know every law, every tax break, and every possible opportunity to help you resolve and reduce your tax debt. And if you owe more than $20,000, you may be at the top of their hit list. So don't take your tax debt lightly, because it will not go away on its own. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, your home, and even shut down your business. Call our tax experts today at 1-800-249-8901 and let us deal with the IRS while you focus on your business. That's 1-800-249-8901. Again, 800-249-8901.
So you're looking for a job, right?
Wait, no, should I be? I mean, I always keep my options open, but should I?
We'll talk about that after this gets on. But if you happen to be looking for a job, one of the most important things you will need is an updated and current resume.
Are you trying to tell me something here?
Nicole's Resume Renewal Service is where you should go take your resume to the next level.
I really don't understand. Have you seen what happens when you try to go it alone?
Go to facebook.com/Nicole's Resume Renewal Service to get your resume in top shape. And don't forget to use the promo code Defenders for $10 off any resume package.
Is this because we aren't going daily right now?
That's facebook.com/Nicole's Resume Renewal Service. That's facebook.com/Nicole's Resume Renewal Service with the promo code Defenders for $10 off.
Is this really for me?
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, seriously. Is this for me?
Nah, it's water under the bridge.
Do you have a retirement account worth more than $100,000? Pay close attention to what I'm about to tell you. Gold is a better way. Gold is a better way to protect your retirement, a better way to grow your retirement, and better than everything you're currently doing inside your retirement account. At Advantage Gold, we're certain that gold is going higher in price and going to outperform stocks and bonds. We've created the world's first gold protection retirement platform ever built. If you have an IRA or 401k, you can get your free access. Once you see it, you'll have no choice but to agree. Gold is a better way. And all you need to do is call our recorded line for your special quote. You can join the site for free. Just call now to get your code. 800-932-2605. 800-932-2605. 800-932-2605. That's 800-932-2605.
And we're back. You're listening to Defenders of American Exceptionalism. I have with me Liz Matory. Hey, Liz.
Hi.
Hi. How
You
are
hear-
you?
I don't know what's going on right now.
What? Hey,
No,
don't move around too much. That mic, the little mic end is shaking off of you.
Okay.
Okay, there we go. Woo! All right, so I just burned through the first two segments talking about the Kavanaugh deal.
Okay.
I don't want to talk about it anymore. But you've had a very interesting 2 or 3 weeks, haven't you?
Well, you know, it's like, what is it, 4 more weeks until the general election. I mean, actually here in Maryland, people are already voting now, absentee, so
Ooh.
we're kind of feeling the pressure, you know.
Uh-huh.
But so is my opponent, actually. We finally got to put up some those big road signs, like the 4x8s.
Yeah.
And he's getting a little nervous, and I'm calling him out on his BS, and he doesn't really like that. So, you know, the usual.
The usual. Okay. So obviously you weren't able to get here a little bit early, so
Sorry.
I wasn't able to prep you for this. But I do have one thing I want to bring up.
Okay.
It was 3 weeks ago or so, and you were out and about, and you were in the middle of town.
Uh-huh.
And you came out and said that Your opponent was a racist?
Yes, a racist, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know me. I don't take labels lightly.
I don't. Nor
So
do I.
that's why I want to bring it up.
Sure.
You got the floor.
So I think the issue is, and I don't know, there are new people listening or not listening. I was a former Democrat, and so now I'm a very, very vocal conservative Republican because I personally, absolutely, positively, 1,000% believe that the Democratic Party is still the racist party. Everybody talks about party switching or whatever. They didn't. Seeing the fact that I'm one of the few people who actually switched and am very active in our former party, you know, when you're working through community, you're like, why are things so frustrated? And at the end of the day, I do believe that certain Democrats, particularly ones who have been in office for 35 years plus, have purposefully, actively kept people down. Were you talking about systemic racism? Yeah, they're the ones who control the system. You know what I mean? Like, it's like A plus B equals C, and we're always forgetting that B part. If you're talking about the systemic racism and there's only one party that is literally controlled, for example, Baltimore, I mean, it's a no-brainer. And our opponent, our incumbent, has been in office since I was 5 years old. You know, he was county council, county executive, and now Congress. They created this district specifically for him. Every day you're like wondering, what the hell? Like, why are there all these signs up that say, you know, vote Democrat? Like, in only black environments and black communities. It's because, yes, the Democratic Party, yes, people like Dutch Ruppersberger think that black people are idiots. They think that black people are not able to think for themselves. They're not able to discern. They're not able to say, okay, well, maybe I'll consider an alternative. They literally programmed us over generations to distrust Republicans. When I deal with the reality, knowing full well, I can only talk about Maryland. I don't know how it is in North Carolina. I don't know how it is in Alabama. I really don't. But I do know in Maryland, the Republican Party is not the racist party. My friends who are in the Republican Party aren't the racists. When I know full well, and we've talked about it before, that the only time where I felt uncomfortable in my skin was as a Democrat candidate. And I am not the only black woman specifically who have said it. I'm just the only one who's allowed to speak the truth. I'm sorry.
No, you don't have to be sorry. That's the whole point. You don't have to be sorry.
Appreciate it.
That's right. There's no problem at all. We on this side want you to speak your mind, and we want to make sure that everybody's heard, right?
Yeah, and not only that, I mean, you see it every day. Like, everybody's like, oh, you know, this person's racist, misogynist, bigots. Like, all these things are literally thrown out, like it's freaking candy, right? So that's the issue ever since you're a kid. You know, like, you don't cry wolf just in case when the wolf comes, you're not ready and prepared when you see it. So when you deal with, you know, generational poverty and, you know, schools getting worse and worse and worse and living conditions getting so bad that people have to move out of the neighborhoods that they grew up in and have to move farther and farther out to other counties. And there's only one party that is literally controlled it the entire time. It is actually a disservice for you to not call it out now. Because I don't personally want to be responsible for another generation of poverty. That's where I'm coming from.
Okay. And that's fair. That is completely fair. I just want to make sure that when people hear you say something like that, it's not just a clarion call. It is something that there's actual emphasis behind it. There's a reason behind it. I don't want people to look at you and just say, oh, she's just claiming something because, you know, the person's a Democrat.
No, I'm saying that because it's like, okay, so for instance, we had a forum on Monday and, you know, I was very vocal. I was very like sort of, I've gone back and forth with my campaign manager, for example, to say, okay, Liz, like, you know, now that you're running in the general, you know, you got to moderate. And we've talked about that before. It's like, I did not join a party, a new party to now all of a sudden after 1 month switch back. Like, that's just not my, like, I don't have that. I don't believe those things anymore. And I think that people kind of forget, like, as conservatives, technically, we don't even see color. We don't differentiate from people that way. We don't think that because I have brown skin and you have white skin that, you are more of a person and you're more of a valuable being than I am.
I'm actually kind of less. I'm melatonin deficient.
But you know what I mean? Like, and then the only groups of people who proliferate that paradigm is the Democratic Party. And yes, when I see the guy on Monday at a forum, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just arrogance. I don't know if it's just this old guy like looking at me being like, who is this little girl who thinks that she can, take me on, whatever. All I know is those people, when you're talking like the Democrat, first of all, I'm not the only one calling old white men out. The Democratic Party, don't forget, is telling us not to trust all white men. You know what I mean? Like, Think about that. Like, you're getting mad at me for calling someone out who literally has controlled people's lives for 35 years. Mm-hmm. And when you're telling us don't trust them, and I'm like, all right, dude, I don't trust you. But it's like, oh, you can't talk about that one. It's like, well, you just told me your whole thing is don't trust old white men. I was like, well, get this one out. If they're so like distrusting, like if we can, like, I mean, you know what I mean? Like if you are going to use the rhetoric, if you're going to call my friends racist, and when I see when I see someone face to face and say, I honestly believe that you don't think that we are equals. Do you know what I mean? Like, I honestly don't believe that he thinks that, like, again, in this forum, they're like, oh, you are seen like an intelligent, articulate person. Okay. Shit, sorry. That stuff is racist. Like, I'm sorry. Like, please, anyone listening, stop calling black people articulate. You know what I mean? Stop.
Are you saying that most aren't?
But what I'm saying is that is, when people have like trigger words, like I've been triggered, you know what I mean? Like how like they're safe spaces. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The surefire way to trigger a black person is to call them articulate, because you are literally assuming that most blacks aren't. That's racist. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh my gosh, no, that is the racist stuff. That is the sort of stuff that, screams, you are not my equal. It screams white supremacy. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? Where white people, white voters, wherever they are, white voters, Asian voters, Latino voters get options, but black folks don't. That's racist.
Yeah, that's not good at all.
That is how it is, Stephen. And I'm sick of it. And the thing is, I'm not the only one. There are people who have this walk away movement, and everybody says, "Do you know Candace Owens?" I don't know Candace Owens. You know what I mean? But
like, I wish we knew Candace Owens. That'd be really nice. I'd kind of like to meet her.
But you know what I mean? It's like, it happens to be that this sort of metamorphosis, or this, some people talk about the Matrix. Whatever it is, I'm still in it. Whatever, we all are. Even if you think that you aren't, you're still in it. Whatever.
Red pill, man. Red pill.
But you know what I mean? Like,
whoop whoop whoop. Looks like I lost her.
Like,
oh, hold on. Looks like your signal's dropping out. Are you all right?
Okay.
You there?
I'm here.
You are there. Okay, good. Yeah,
okay.
you just so like everything that everybody saw. You were going on a good rant, and then you just froze. Like the screen froze. I was like, uh-oh, we have technical issues now.
Anyway, so that's what happened, and that's the reason why I call it out, because again, it's like, it's not helpful when you don't finish the sentence.
I gotcha, and that makes perfect sense. Like I said, you said it. I wanted to give you an opportunity to explain it, because I don't think everybody who saw it might have really gotten to the point of it.
Well, I mean, and really quick, Stephen, oddly enough, the people who get it are, again, a whole bunch of white folks that used to be Democrats too.
Yeah.
And they are Trump supporters now. They're now Republicans now. They're the ones who are living on the east side, in our community on the east side, that are like, yeah, we gave our lives to the Democratic Party as well, and we got nothing for it too. So we totally get it. Gotcha. You know what I mean? It's not just, me, angry black woman saying it. It's the fact that people are like, finally someone is having the balls to say the truth.
Exactly.
But I don't have balls.
Right. Well, I mean, You have the gall to say it. How about that? We'll say it that way. You have the gall to actually get up and say it. So, couple stories that I wanted to hit on while you were here. One of which was Apple CEO. I always forget the guy's name. Oh, Tim Cook.
Dang, that's so messed up. You know who Steve Jobs is?
Yeah, but he's dead.
I know,
Yeah,
but Tim Cook always gets to like.
Hey, look, you know what? You start a company that makes multi-billion dollars, people are going to remember your name. You step in as the CEO. Anyway, so
moving on.
Tim Cook says that the free market has failed to provide adequate protection for privacy, and he believes it's time for the government to step in.
No.
Yes, and guess what? The music is starting to play, so I'm going to have to take a break. We'll be right back.
Remember in the beginning, when you first started to build a life for you and your family, you never imagined it would come to this. Instead of living your dreams, you're living with debt. In fact, it's smothering you. Now there's a way you can take back control with one simple call. If you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt, you qualify to receive a free, no-obligation consultation on how to get rid of that debt for good. Call the Debt Helpline now. We work on your behalf to reduce your debt. We specialize in credit cards, retail store cards, and medical bills. One simple call is all it takes to get the ball rolling to a debt-free life. Stop living with debt and start living your dreams. Call the Debt Helpline now.
800-648-9176. 800-648-9176. 800-648-9176. That's 800-648-9176.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control over your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank account, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problems now by calling the experts at Tax Mediation Services and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. Tax Mediation Services is accredited by the Better Business Bureau. Call now for a free case review and a price protection guaranteed quote.
Call Tax Mediation Services now at 800-327-2381. That's 800-327-2381. 800-327-2381.
Hey, this is Dylan and Steven from Defenders of American Exceptionalism, here to give you the facts about hydration.
Thirst pains are real. Chronic joint pains, headaches, and ulcers can often spell dehydration. Water's needed to carry acidic waste away from the cells, and when we're dehydrated, these wastes don't get carried away, leading our nerves to interpret it as pain.
If you're tired, it may be dehydration. One study found that a mere drop in water levels in the body can cause a 25 to 30% loss in energy. Even a 3% drop can cause fuzzy thinking, brain fog, and a slower metabolism.
How do you remedy this? Some people may ask.
Earthwater. Go to earthwater.com/DOAE show to get yours now.
These bottles are packed with 70 plus trace minerals, 9.5 pH balance, no carbs, sugars, artificial sweeteners, preservatives, chemicals, or calories.
It's organic, gluten-free, and vegan as well because it's, well, you know, water.
And with its high active carbon and molecular oxygen levels and antioxidants, it will hydrate you the way to a better life.
That's earthwater.com/DOAE show to get your bottles today.
Earthwater.com/DOAE show.
Welcome back. Tell you what, radio hours really go by fast. I don't know why, don't know how. Defenders of American Exceptionalism, Liz Matory with me. Tell you what.
Can I unmute myself now?
Of course you can.
Okay.
And I can hear you, so it's all good. All right, so I ended on Tim Cook, and I want to go through this really quickly, but apparently he wants to, what was that George Bush phrase where he was talking about I've got to suspend it to save it, or I've got to go away from it to save it.
I don't know. I wasn't listening to George Bush that much. Sorry.
Man, it was really, really... Anyway, his quote is, I'm not a pro-regulation kind of person. I believe in the free market deeply, but I think you have to recognize that the free market doesn't produce the results that's great for society. You have to ask yourself, what do we need to do? And I think some level of government regulation is important.
Some of it is, yeah, but not freaking getting the government to control what?
Right, and when you think about it, so he's not a pro-regulation sort of person. Yes, you are, Tim Cook.
But that's the thing, like, remember, it was the San Bernardino shooter, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he had an iPhone, and I remember it was one of the last sort of conversations we had about privacy, right?
Yeah.
And on the, mass scale, and I was so sort of proud, oddly, of the, Apple, about the iPhone in reference to
the Apple
Because,
products.
right. Because they were like, no, there has to be a certain amount of privacy, and that you have to either get a warrant or like something extreme, not extreme, but like
we will not unlock this.
Right. Our constitutional rights actually should be, paramount. Unfortunately, yes, there was a shooting and this, that, and the other, but like, I was just surprised actually that there was actual privacy still. I thought we were like, oh, we're done. We have no privacy, right?
But somehow the iPhone still has privacy.
Yeah, so I am not a big fan of that.
Neither am I, because the entire point of it, if the government does get involved, especially the federal government, what they're going to do is they're going to force Apple to actually produce a backdoor into their product where they can get into anything. And if they get a backdoor, everybody gets a backdoor. And you know what happens when everybody gets a backdoor?
I don't even want to go as far as I don't know what happens.
That's all I need to do. That's it. Anyway, couple other things. It's very uncomfortable. Everybody sits a little awkward with that. So,
what's your funny story?
Oh no, not yet. I'm not there yet. So Iran has claimed victory in the UN. Did you hear about this?
No, I've been on. I'm sorry.
I know you've been very local. You've been really local. I know, and that's okay. Like really local.
All right. So what happened?
So apparently there have been a whole bunch of like sanctions and everything against Iran. Well, the UN today has decided that the United States can no longer put those sanctions on Iran, despite their horrible regime. Now, here's the funny thing: they cannot do a single thing to the U.S. The UN can't do anything to force us into following their rules. Now, it is technically legally binding.
We don't follow half of their rules anyway, so whatever.
Nobody follows their rules anyway, and most of those people are on the council. So who cares? Yay for Iran, I guess, and boo. Why can't we just disband the UN?
Well, that was kind of in my head, and I was like, wait. I'm running for Congress. Am I allowed to say that? Like, that totally was at the top of my head. But, we got to think about it. Like, again, the reason why we have President Trump as our duly elected president is because, like, there was such a feeling of why are these antiquated institutions still around, knowing full well, have they served their purpose or have they made things worse? Now,
always
United
make
Nations,
things worse. Always.
Okay, not always. But, I think any bit of bureaucracy, especially because people are involved and power is involved and greed is involved and whatever, it always can be corrupted. And I don't know if it is corrupt holistically, but I thought that the UN was supposed to protect the rest of the world or the world from dictatorships and difficulties that came about during
No. See, that's where you got it wrong. It's not to protect anything from dictatorships and stuff. It's to make all of our countries get together and not kill each other right now.
Oh, currently.
That's the entire point of it. There's no we're not going to protect the world from dictators. We're just going to come together and not kill each other right now. That's basically all we're doing.
Well, why do you need a whole building for that?
Why do you need an organization for that? But anyway, why do we need the billions and billions of dollars that we spend on that, funding the entire campaign? Anyway, so we have a great story. Great story. Have to get to it.
Okay.
I know. I just got into that whole thing for the UN, but I want to get away from it because this story is great and you're going to love it too.
Okay.
So there are a bunch of scholars who published, they went through, this is the title of the article. Scholars publish absurd gender studies papers to prove that academia has gone insane.
Okay.
Now listen to this. 3 separate scholars, right? Mm-hmm. 2 guys and a girl, or 2 men and a female. I don't know how you want to do 2 males and a female.
Males and 1
cisgendered white blah blah blahs and everything. So their entire point is that everything has gone wrong with the universities. They've gone through these identity studies, these critical theory studies, all of this crap, and so things that they wanted to do was they wanted to prove that this is just total trash. Mm-hmm. So they posted papers like how dog parks promote rape culture in Portland, Oregon.
Oh my gosh.
That was posted.
And people believed it?
That was not only believed, but it was given an award.
Oh my god, that's absurd. Oh my god, my apartment complex has 2 freaking dog parks.
These were posted in scholastic journals. This is like the whole thing. They're posted in scholastic journals. They posted a different one about fat shaming and body shaming. How fat was a body shape, and so musculature. How people go into.
Hold on, wait. There's big boned. There's thick.
Right.
Those are totally shapes, dude.
Right.
Stop hating. There's curvy. There's athletic. Like, come on.
Well, no, you have bodybuilders, right? Mm-hmm. Well, they made an argument about fat builders. And it was praised and lauded. Finally,
I don't know if I can handle another one, Steven.
Oh no! This is great. The third published article suggested men should anally self-penetrate using sex toys to decrease transphobia and increase feminist values.
I was gonna hang up on you, but I decided not to.
The final published paper suggested men frequently restaurants like they go to restaurants like Hooters because they're nostalgic for the patriarchal dominance and enjoy being able to order attractive women around.
I just like their wings. But okay.
But you're not a man.
Yeah, but I like their wings.
Yeah.
And you know what? Okay, let's talk about Hooters for a second.
Okay.
I totally think it's great and wonderful if you have the body to do so and you feel comfortable wearing hosiery for so long. Oh my God, let's talk about it. That's what I'm concerned about. We hate pantyhose. And those pantyhose that those ugly color, I feel for those chicks just because that is not ugh. That's what I'm concerned about. I could care less. I mean, shoot, people wear worse on the street now than they do at Hooters.
Oh yeah, for sure. You can go to Hooters and say that they're moderately dressed half the time. It's like that is pretty moderate. You're conserving it up, aren't you?
Now, does Hooters allow trans people to work there?
That's a great question. They'd have to have breasts.
Right. Oh, a certain size.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I think to be a certain size, and hopefully their junk wasn't a certain size.
Oh, right. Yeah. Right. Forgot about that. Anyway.
Guys, we are at the end of the show. I'm glad you could join us.
I'm glad we're at the end of the show.
I know, aren't you? You can follow us at Defenders of American Exceptionalism. That's DOAE Show everywhere on every social media. You can also go to Liz Matory for Congress on the Facebook pages and all that jazz. Go see her if you are in Maryland District 2. Go vote for this woman. She is awesome. Get out of there. Get out and vote. Love you guys. And a good night.